The man outside my door didn't knock. He didn't shout. He didn't try to force his way in right away. He walked up slowly, stood inches from the wood, and calmly whispered my name. The problem, I had never been to that island before, and I never told anyone I was going. Last year, I was 22 and exhausted in a way that sleep couldn't fix. I had made mistakes, the kind that follow you into quiet rooms. I wasn't proud of who I'd been, and I needed distance, not from people, but from myself. I didn't want a vacation. I wanted isolation. A co-worker overheard me talking one afternoon and mentioned a small island off the coast of Maine. According to him, most tourists take the last ferry out before sunset. If you stay overnight, the island feels abandoned. You'll basically have it to yourself, he said. That sounded perfect. I booked a shoreline cottage the same day. It was surprisingly cheap, available immediately. No complicated check-in, no questions asked. Looking back, that should have bothered me. The cottage was tiny. One room, a bed pushed against the wall, a kitchenette that looked barely used. The bathroom was cramped and cold. Three sides of the place were surrounded by thick brush, the kind that scratches against wood when the wind moves through it. The front faced the ocean, a wide window covered by a thin curtain that did almost nothing to block the view from outside, or block anyone from seeing in. The walls were thin. I could hear the wind clearly, every rustle, every shift in the branches. The front door had a deadbolt and a brand new chain lock. That detail stuck with me. The metal still looked polished. Comma. By the time the last ferry left that evening, the island went completely quiet. No traffic, no distant voices, just waves hitting rock and wind moving through brush. It felt peaceful, almost too peaceful. I grabbed dinner at a small pub near the dock. The bartender was friendly at first, but when I mentioned where I was staying, something changed in her expression, just slightly, a pause. Then she forced a smile and changed the subject. I didn't press it. On the walk back, I noticed something I hadn't seen earlier. A small dock tucked into a rocky inlet near my cottage. There was only one boat tied there, a small blue motorboat. Every other boat on the island was a large lobster vessel. This one looked private, out of place. I told myself it belonged to someone local and kept walking. That night, I locked the deadbolt, slid the chain into place, turned off the lights, and lay down. Then I realized my phone wasn't charging. I tried every outlet. Nothing worked. My battery was nearly dead. For a moment, that bothered me more than it should have. Being alone on an island without a working phone feels different once the sun goes down. Still, I convinced myself it didn't matter. I had my ferry ticket for the morning. I'd be gone soon. Eventually, exhaustion pulled me under. I woke up in the middle of the night. At first, I thought it was just a dream. My body was stiff, the room dark except for the thin light seeping through the curtain. Then I heard it, gravel crunching outside the door. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. Not an animal, not the wind. I froze. The steps paused, then moved closer. I held my breath, hoping it was someone checking on the cottage. But that hope vanished when the person outside clicked a flashlight on, letting a thin beam cut across the floor. They tried the door handle. I couldn't move. My chest felt like it was about to explode. Deadbolt. Chain lock. I prayed. Seconds passed. Then heavier knocks. 1, 2, 3. Loud. Echoing. My brain screamed at me to hide. I jumped out of bed, crouched behind the door, ready for whatever was coming through. Silence. Then a voice. "I know you're in there, Leo." It was a man's voice. I didn't recognize him, but he knew my name. The footsteps moved along the side of the cottage, pacing, circling, taunting. My heart pounded. My mind couldn't catch up. 20 minutes? An hour? I have no idea. Whoever it was, they had no intention of leaving. Then, from the direction of the dock, I heard it. A small outboard motor starting, slicing through the still night. The sound faded over the water. When daylight finally came, I ran outside. The gravel told the story. Heavy boot prints circled the cottage, leading in a straight line to the dock. Whoever had been outside came by boat, and they knew exactly where I'd be that night in that cottage. I confronted the co-worker who'd mentioned the island. He swore he hadn't told anyone. I believed him. That's the part that still haunts me. Someone tracked me to a tiny island in Maine, to a specific cottage on a specific night. I had no answers, no leads, just the knowledge that someone out there had been watching me. And that night, the island was not empty.